What's up, guys? We're going to be doing some live coverage tonight. We have some results coming in for the Kentucky gubernatorial race. So far, we have less than 1% of the vote in, 68% for Daniel Cameron. If Cameron can pull it off, it'll be an upset victory tonight. So we're going to be watching that. We're going to be watching the state house and state senate race in Virginia, the Supreme Court race in Pennsylvania. We'll be watching the governor race down in Mississippi and the ballot referendums in Ohio. And if anybody's interested, we'll check in on the New Jersey legislature and a couple others. Some other ones that aren't so important, but the big ones are Kentucky and Virginia. Those are going to be huge tonight. What's up, Dave? And I love cars. Yeah, actually, we will be announcing the giveaway winner tonight. So I was going to do that later, but we're going to do that tonight. Alright, so we do not have any results out of Virginia yet. The polls will close in another 46 minutes. So we just got another dump of votes. And then Kentucky, +7 for Beshear. I'm going to get the Mississippi race pulled up. I'm going to stop at the Pennsylvania Supreme Court race. If anybody wants to see any other races, just let me know in the comments. Well, don't watch then if you don't think I'm a credible source. I'm not even the source. I'm just streaming the results, buddy. The results are from the New York Times. So we don't have any results out of Ohio or Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is going to be interesting to watch, race to watch, because judicial elections are always interesting. Here in Wisconsin, we have non-partisan elections, which is there's no party affiliation. But in Pennsylvania, they have partisan judicial elections, so they are there's judges that are running as Republican and Democrat. That's interesting to me. So no results out of Mississippi either. Polls don't close there for another 2 hours. We got 44 minutes in Virginia, so we'll just stay on Kentucky for now because that's where all the results are at the moment. So these do have some implications for 2024. I was talking with my buddy about specifically the Virginia election will be so a lot of people don't know states are allowed to decide how they award their electoral votes in presidential elections. For example, in Maine and Nebraska, they do it by congressional district. And Virginia used to be a solid red state. It has now turned blue because of the suburbs around D.C. are heavily Democratic, but the eastern part of the state is still reliably conservative. if we could get a trifecta in Virginia with Glenn Youngkin, the state senate, and the assembly, they could change the law that we could give out the electoral votes by congressional district, and the Republican would get at a minimum of 4 to 5. That would be huge, because I don't ever see us taking back that state at the national level ever again. It's just become too blue at this point. So we're still at 1% of the vote, 58% to 42% for Cameron. What I like about the New York Times is they usually have a needle, prediction needle, on who they think is going to win. I don't see it here. Might have to look that up separately. I guess they don't have it. So if you guys are here for the giveaway, we are going to be doing that tonight, but you have to stay on the stream. We're not going to be announcing it until the election results are done and over with. Excuse me for 1 second. So as well as the governor race, we also have the attorney general's race, the secretary of state. I assume the attorney general and the secretary of state race will go to the Republican. And I guess there's a special election for a state house rep. I assume that'll go to the Republican. Don't even know where the district is, but I'm sure it will. What's up, Aztec Tracy? Hey, get Caden in here if you can reach out to him. If you guys remember back in August, they had a referendum for tonight to vote on. They voted on making the threshold for a constitutional amendment to be 60% instead of 51%, and that failed. So they only need a simple majority of 51 for the constitutional amendments to pass tonight. I'm almost certain the abortion one is going to pass. The marijuana one, I'm not so sure. It probably will, but probably not as much as the abortion. Yeah, he hasn't been on in a while. I don't know what his deal is. I think his TV's still broke. Alright, got another dump of votes. Minus 0.3% for Cameron. I don't know what that county is, but we got a blue county coming in. That probably won't stay blue. That's my guess. I'm not going to even acknowledge this childish behavior that I see in this chat. Talking about people from 5 years ago. Grow up. Nobody cares about that BS. We're here to talk about politics. What a pathetic loser. Oh, we just got another dump of votes. +1. Yeah, +1 for Bashir, -1 for Cameron. Total of 8,000 votes so far. Much different story for the Attorney General's race. So we got another blue county on the map here. You tell him, no scope. Yeah, no scope. He's just a nut job. Oh, we got some more votes in here. Now the race has really tightened up. It's neck and neck. 51.2 to 48.8. Slight edge for Cameron at the moment. Well, guys, it's not looking so good for Daniel Cameron. I really don't think he's going to be able to pull this off. Still no results anywhere else. Yeah, I thought about pre-ordering it. I don't have time right now, honestly. So busy with work and school. I don't have time to play Xbox anymore. Man, some people are so deranged, it's unbelievable. So if you guys are just tuning in, we have races in Kentucky, Virginia, Mississippi, Ohio, Pennsylvania. All state off-year elections, but these do have implications for 2024. Republicans have a losing streak that they need to snap out of. If Republicans can pull out a win here somewhere, it'll show some kind of energy on the Republican side. If not, it's just more bad news for 2024. Ever since the Dobbs decision and the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the Republicans have just been struggling in elections across the country. I think tonight's going to be our night to snap out of it, though. He must be one of our biggest fans. He's here every time. He's the first one here of every stream. I'm a coward for doing a giveaway, huh? So for you guys just tuning in, we are monitoring the gubernatorial race in Kentucky, and for my predictions, I'm predicting a win for Beshear in Kentucky. Virginia, I'm predicting the Republicans will hold the state house, and there will be a 2020 tie in the state senate, which the tie would be broken by the lieutenant governor, who is a Republican in Virginia. So I'm predicting a sweep in the Virginia state legislature races. Mississippi, I'm predicting Tate Reeves will pull off a slight victory because it is Mississippi, a deep red state. In Ohio, I'm predicting that both these amendments for marijuana and abortion are going to pass. And in Pennsylvania, I am predicting the Democratic nominee for the state Supreme Court, Daniel McCaffrey, is going to win. So I'm on record now before we have any results on who I think who's going to win. So we'll see how accurate I am. Anybody throughout the night, before we get any real results, can leave a prediction. Kentucky is the only real source of results so far. So you guys excited for the debate tomorrow? I know I'll be watching. Probably not going to change a whole lot, but debates are always fun. We're only going to have 4 candidates this time around. They raised the threshold, I believe, to 4. You had to have 4% and at least 2 national polls and 1 state poll. And you had to have 70,000 donors, I believe. So Mike Pence obviously dropped out because he wasn't going to make the debate. Doug Burgum's not going to make the debate. Hutchinson's not going to make the debate. And who was the other guy? So we have Christie, Ramaswamy, DeSantis, and Haley going to go at it tomorrow. I'm sure we'll hear a lot about the Israel bullshit. Still no real movement here in the election. In the governor's race, still just at 1%. 1% in both the Attorney General and the Secretary of State races. We have an incumbent Republican, and then we have an open race for the Attorney General. It looks like, yeah, because whoever wins will be replacing Daniel Cameron. Well, minus another 0.1% for Cameron. And if this were a presidential election year, this Bashir guy would be blown out of the water because Trump would carry any Republican across the finish line with him easily. I think Kentucky, it was like a 70-30 split in 2020. Biden won a whopping 2 counties in Louisville and Lexington. It's a deep red state. And of course, Andy Bashir isn't a Democrat that you would see, say, in Illinois or California or New York. He's obviously a more conservative Democrat. He has to be, or else how could he win in a state as red as Kentucky? But people have said that Cameron wasn't a good nominee. I watched the debate last night between the two, and he did pretty good, I think. He's on the right side of all the issues, and the majority of people in Kentucky agree with him. So really, I don't see how Bashir could win, but I believe he will win. Politics is weird. The majority of people in Kentucky are pro-life, pro-Second Amendment. All things that Bashir is not. 25 minutes now exactly before the Virginia election results come in. I believe there's only about 5 actual toss-up seats that we're going to be watching. All of the rest of them are safe for either side. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm really not that interested in the Mississippi governor race, honestly. Tate Reeves has a bunch of scandals, and he got caught up in that whole Brett Favre thing. But it's Mississippi. What are you gonna do? And I guess this is Elvis's grandson. I don't know if that'll carry any weight to it. Yeah, we're going to be announcing the giveaway winner after the election results. Got some more votes in here. Okay, so we got +2 for Cameron. I guess that's a good sign for him. I'm about to get rid of this guy. About had enough of it. Got another dump in, plus 1.6 for Cameron, still with only 1% of the vote in. Alright, that guy's out of here. Loser, I'm not going to say his name because that's all he wants is recognition. Another 2% point advantage now for Cameron. So it looks like he's got a decent amount of votes coming in here. Now with 2% of the vote in. Yeah, he's out of here. So we got some blue counties coming in here on the western side of the state. Plus another 3 points for Beshear. It's tightening up again. $20 minutes now before we get some results out of Virginia. We've already looked at the comments in the on the actual video, so that's what we're going to be using. So we've got a total of 33,000 votes so far. Just got some more votes in here, plus another 1.4% for Beshear, with 3% of the vote in now. You know, I don't know. I expect the number to fluctuate throughout the night. We haven't done politics in a while, so I assume a lot of our general, our usuals probably aren't gonna come around. So we are now neck and neck with Daniel Cameron and Andy Beshear. I mean, how many times have I told you we're gonna announce the winner at the end of the fucking election? Come on, man. I've said it like 5 times. So polls are closing now in 17 minutes in Virginia. That's gonna be the highlight of the night. At least I think so. A lot of people are fixated on the governor race in Kentucky. I mean, this has a lot less implications. The legislature is dominated by Republicans anyways, so it's not like Beshear is going to be able to do that a whole lot. If you guys are willing and able, super chats are enabled for tonight's stream. Those are always much appreciated. So Cameron just got another 0.8% added to his totals. Still only at 3% in. Got some more votes coming in here now. Plus another 0.7 for Beshear. Only 48,000 votes in so far. Oh, so Beshear is now taking the lead. Wow. So, yeah, a vote dump just came in from Louisville. Plus 12 for Beshear. So, a lot of votes for him out of Louisville. That's to be expected, though. Wonder how early we're going to have a call here. We're now at 7% of the vote is now in. While we're waiting on more results, I guess we can talk 2024. So we had some polls come out 2 days ago over the weekend from the New York Times. Trump up big in a lot of swing states. I believe he was up 5 in Michigan, 11 in Nevada, 4 in Arizona, 5 in Georgia, 4 in Pennsylvania, and I believe he was only down 2 in Wisconsin. So that's terrible news for Biden. And if you look at the demographics, Trump is now inching on. He's closing in on a quarter of the black vote. The Hispanic vote is only a single-digit margin at this point. Voters under the age of 30 only break for Biden by 1 point. So those numbers are totally unrecoverable for any Democrat. Biden is in a world of hurt. I assume in the coming weeks we're going to be having everybody sounding the alarm to get a new nominee in there. So Beshear just got, Cameron just got another more votes, plus 1.6%. plus 0.1 for Cameron. So we've got another 12 minutes almost exactly for results in Virginia to come in. We still got an hour left for Mississippi, 41 minutes for Ohio, and still over an hour before we get anything out of Pennsylvania. Welcome, Governor. So I keep mixing up their names. Cameron just got another 0.4%. We're now 59-40 for Beshear. 8% of the vote in. What's up, Caden? Haven't seen you in a while. What you been up to? Actually, you know what, Caden? I'm going to bring you on here. Caden, go on the Xbox app. I'm going to get you and No Scope in here for some extra commentary. No, that's not what I want. Yeah, Caden, just join the party on the app. You guys will excuse me for 1 second. All right, we got Caden here. Special guest. What's up, Cade? Not much has changed and the results. No, there's no Xbox.
Oh. Thought it was the Xbox for a second. Rings a bell.
No, it doesn't matter where you are for the giveaway. Caden, you gotta stop that echo. So plus another 3.6% for Bashir. 62 to 38. Caden, get that echo off. Okay, then turn the volume down. So we are now at 10% of the vote in. 62 to 38 for Bashir. That's an impressive lead for Bashir. With the Attorney General's race, that has narrowed up. Caden, turn that echo off. Last time I'm going to ask.
Hey, Dad, what are you doing? I'm hey, Dad? Hey, Dad? Hey, Dad? Hey, no.
No, I will not open the door. I'm teaching you a lesson. Turn the echo off.
What do you mean? I don't even have anything on.
Why can I hear myself?
I don't know. It's just probably an error.
Turn your phone volume down.
Alright.
All right, Caden, so we got some more votes coming in here. Looks like 60% to 39% for Bashir.
That's awesome.
That's not awesome. Now we have more votes coming in for Bashir. 11% of the vote in. Caden, turn your phone volume down.
I'm not even on YouTube.
Okay, the sound of your phone with my voice coming out of it. Turn it down.
Alright.
Jesus Christ. Now we're at 11% of the vote in Kentucky, 60% to 39%, 160,000 votes. It's almost a 40,000 vote spread for Bashir. It is razor thin for the Attorney General. Secretary of State's a comfortable lead for a Republican, but he's an incumbent, so he's got that advantage going for him. In Virginia, we are now just 3 minutes away from results there. Still got a little bit of a ways to go for Mississippi and Ohio and Pennsylvania. Man, he needs to fix his connection. Caden, you have Discord, right?
Do I have Discord? Yeah.
I think I'm gonna bring you in through that. Can you go on that instead of the Xbox app?
Yep.
Hold on. Let me get it figured out here before I try to do that.
Alright.
So if you guys are just now tuning in, we are watching the Kentucky governor's race. We have 12% of the vote in, 176,000 votes. Bashir has a comfortable lead. 60% of the vote. Who's this? Oh, what's up?
Actually, because we got new phones and we switched to Verizon, and it was kind of a bad idea. So yeah.
Hey, do you want to get Caden back in here?
We'll find out.
Is he appearing online, or did he just like get off?
I don't know. Try getting him back in here.
Alright.
Welcome, everybody. If you're just joining us, we are watching the Kentucky governor's race. Just got some more votes in here. We are... so we have 14% of the vote in, and Beshear has a commanding lead so far, 59% to 40% with almost 200,000 votes in. I think Virginia is just about it. Yep, polls just closed, and we already have some projections. District 1 for the House of Delegates goes to the Dem. District 2, Dem. 4, Dem. 5, Dem. 12, Dem. 16, Dem. 17, Dem. 19, 24, Dem. So a lot of these were called right off the bat. It's 100 races. Republicans currently hold this chamber, so they're looking to expand on that. don't think we have any Senate races called. Oh yeah, we do. We got it. Oh, so these were uncontested races. Okay, that's why they were called. I don't know why they're not showing the totals at the top. That's kind of weird. They're already called. Back to Kentucky. Still Beshear with a commanding lead, over 200,000 votes, 14% of the vote in. And the Attorney General race, it's neck and neck. That's an open seat. Secretary of State's race, the incumbent Republican has got a pretty comfortable lead there. Beshear's got some really big vote totals coming in from Louisville and Kentucky. Caden, get rid of that echo. Dude, how many times do I have to ask you to fix that? Have some courtesy. What's funny?
It's just like when you were walking and you see it on the street before. It's doing like, King, tell your fault.
So guys, we now have 16% of the vote in, 227,000 votes. Beshear 59% to Cameron's 40%. I keep wanting to mix up their names. It's so annoying. And we do have some calls here in the Virginia State Senate and House of Delegates, but these were all uncontested races. So nothing too important yet. So we've got, I guess they're starting to put the numbers up on the screen. We got 3 Republicans so far in the State Senate, 2 Dems. In the House of Delegates, we got 14 Republicans, 18 Democrats. So if you guys were not here earlier when I was talking about it, the Virginia race is going to be the most important one of the night, mainly because of the Nebraska Maine rule. If you don't know what that is splitting up electoral votes by congressional districts. Virginia has not been in the control of the Republicans since 2004. They have the governorship with Glenn Youngkin. They have the House of Delegates. So they have to hold that, and if they can capture the state Senate, they can change how they award the electoral votes. Instead of the winner take all, they can do it by congressional districts. So instead of it being 13 electoral votes for the Democrat guaranteed, they could split it up, and the Republicans would get at least 4 electoral votes. I know 4 isn't a whole lot, but when your elections are as close as they have been in the last couple, 4 electoral votes could make or break the whole thing. So now we're at 20% of the vote in Kentucky. Beshear still with a commanding lead here, 60% to 39%. All right, take care. In the Attorney General race, that one is neck and neck with a slight edge to the Dem seat. And the Secretary of State, the incumbent Republican, still has a comfortable lead. All right, guys. So if the Republicans blow this yet again, like they've been doing for the past year or so, we've got to start having some serious conversations on the future of the party, because we just can't keep losing like this. There's gonna come a time where the Republicans aren't gonna be able to win a race for dog catcher if we keep going at the current rate. I mean, in a safe Republican state like Kentucky, this should be an easy win here. So if things don't go our way, we're really going to have to do an autopsy and see what the problem is. I wish Trump would have been more involved in this race. He definitely could have been in Kentucky doing some rallies on behalf of Cameron. That definitely would have helped him. I mean, Kentucky is Trump country, so that definitely would have tipped the scales. Virginia, there's not much you can do there. If we can pull out a win there, that's going to be great, because that's pretty much a blue state at this point. So there are 40 state Senate seats in Virginia. So Republicans need 20 for a majority. Democrats need 21 because the Republicans have the governorship. Lieutenant governor breaks the tie. There are 100 House of Delegates seats. So Republicans need 51 for the majority. So far they're at 14. More votes coming in here, plus 0.5 for Cameron. 323,000 votes in, 22% of the vote. You still there, Caden?
Yep, still here.
So I don't know if you heard, but we're going to be announcing the giveaway winners tonight. That's what we're doing tonight. Dude, why is there still an echo? Okay, why is there an echo in the first place? Where's the sound coming out of? Dude, figure it out. Okay, why would I announce the giveaway winners at the start of the stream? That's so stupid. I'm not doing it now, and you're disqualified because you're annoying the shit out of me. You're not winning shit. How's that? This guy keeps bitching about the giveaway. He's out of the running. I'm done.
Let me go trash talk and teach him a lesson. He needs to know who's boss around here, and that's you.
Yeah, that's right. Alright, guys, so All right, so we have 20% or 23% of the vote is in Kentucky for the governor's race. 330,000 votes. Still 59 to 41. It's going to tighten up before it's called, but I believe it is going to get called for Beshear. It's almost inevitable at this point. So the Attorney General's race is still neck and neck. The Republican with a slight edge. That's an open race. Secretary of State, Republican still leading. Over in Virginia, looks like we still don't have any more results other than what we had before. Still nothing out of Mississippi, nothing out of Ohio or Pennsylvania. Only 14 minutes left in Ohio. I believe these are going to be called pretty quickly. The governor. All right, guys. So we are now at a quarter of the vote in Kentucky. Beshear with a commanding lead still. It's not over yet, but it's not looking good for Cameron. Virginia, we still have nothing there other than the races that were initially called. $12 more minutes left in Ohio. We got some more votes here. 200,000 votes now for Andy Beshear out of 342,000. Caden, what are you doing?
I'm listening.
Well, give your input. So it looks like we did get some more calls, I believe, out of the state senate. Or didn't we? Yeah, we got the 92nd and 93rd district called for the Dems. Those are the only actual races called so far. Okay, so the Democrats have 20 seats in the House of Delegates. I'm sorry, I misspoke earlier. I said state senate. It's House of Delegates, 14 for the Republicans. Now, I believe another state senate seat was called. Looks like the 21st district called for the Dems. I don't believe that race was even supposed to be close. 39 minutes yet in Mississippi. Ohio, we got about 9 minutes. Pennsylvania, still another 40 minutes. Slightly more votes coming in for Cameron. 26% of the vote is in there. The Attorney General, the Republican, is now pulling ahead slightly with a quarter of the vote in. Secretary of State Michael Adams, comfortable lead with. So if you're just now tuning in, we've got almost 30% of the vote in Kentucky for the governor's race. 419,000 votes. Beshear with a commanding lead, 57% to 42%. Just a little bit over 5 minutes to go in Ohio. We should have some results on those ballot referendums. We have issue 1, which would establish a constitutional right for abortion. And we have issue 2, which would legalize recreational marijuana for anyone over the age of 21. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we're gonna get a call at the top of the hour for one of these at least. Slightly more votes coming in from Cameron. The Republican still leads in the Attorney General race. Russell Coleman. Michael Adams still leads in the Secretary of State's race. 3 minutes to go in Ohio. We'll get some results on the ballot referendums there. Alright guys, so we are now just a little over a minute away from some results in Ohio on these ballot referendums. A yes vote would amend the Constitution to give individuals the right to make and carry out one's own reproductive decisions, including on abortion. If the amendment passes, the state legislature could still ban abortion after the point when a fetus can survive outside the uterus, roughly 23 weeks, unless the patient's treating physician deems it unnecessary to protect the patient's life or health. So this is these are both left-wing proposals in what we consider now to be a red state, so it'll be interesting to see the results. Seconds to go here. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Polls have closed. Should be getting some results here any moment. Still at 30% of the vote in Kentucky. Still 57 to 42. Not much movement there. No changes out of Virginia since we last checked. 3-3 in the state Senate. 20 to 14 Dems in the House of Delegates so far. We've still got 29 minutes left in Mississippi. No results out of Ohio yet. The polls have closed. And we still have another half hour before we get any results on the Supreme Court race, state Supreme Court race in Pennsylvania. Now 31% of the vote is in. 447,000 votes. Beshear still leading Cameron by a lot. So Cameron's starting to pick up a little bit of steam. 56 to 43. It's narrowing a bit It still looks like it's going to be an uphill climb for him. Nothing yet out of Ohio, even though the polls have closed. There's also a ballot measure in Virginia to authorize the construction of a casino in Richmond. 14% of the vote is in for that. 76% say no. I'm not sure who really gives a fuck about that, but there you go. So I just saw Red County fill in for Cameron down here in the southwest part of the state. 56-43 with 33% of the vote in. Man, this is kind of the frustrating part of the night. It's just sitting here with no results. This is going to be an interesting one, considering Pennsylvania is going to be such a crucial state in 2020. But then again, I was having conversations with people earlier, and we all kind of agreed that if people of Pennsylvania will elect somebody like John Fetterman, it might be too far gone for the Republicans to ever win in Pennsylvania again, electing somebody like that. %34% of the vote is now in Kentucky, 56-44. We're narrowing it up ever so slightly with more votes coming in as we speak. Almost 500,000 votes in. The Attorney General's race, that was neck and neck earlier. It's now breaking for the Republican with 33% of the vote in. Russell Coleman with 54% of the vote, and then the Secretary of State's race. This one's going to be called real soon. Incumbents always pull ahead in off-year elections. We're now down to 55 to 44. Still an edge for Beshear with 34% of the vote in. Votes coming in as we speak. Still no more movement out of Virginia. Still 20 minutes left in Mississippi. No results yet out of Ohio. 20 minutes left in Pennsylvania. Well, do you guys think we'll have a call in Kentucky by the top of the hour? Got about another half hour before 7. More votes coming in for Cameron. So if you guys look at the Attorney General race and the Secretary of State race, the sizes of the lead for in these Republican areas are significantly smaller for Daniel Cameron than they are for the Attorney General's race and Michael Adams, the Secretary of State. So that's not really good news for Cameron. 35% of the vote is now in. 508,000 votes. And it looks like we do have another Senate seat called here for a Democrat. So we got 4-3 now. 21 for the majority. Still no results out of Ohio. Yeah, the Secretary of State's race this map looks more like what a Kentucky map should look like in an election. This does not look like your typical Kentucky map. They should probably just call the Secretary of State's race at this point. Beshear's lead has decreased again. We're getting more votes in with 36% of the vote reported. 54 to 45 for Beshear. I guess another House seat was called in Virginia. Another seat for the Dem. They're at 21. 51 needed for a majority there. 18 minutes left in Mississippi. Oh, we have some results here in Ohio. Just as I predicted, the abortion amendment is outpacing the marijuana amendment. 100,000 votes. 75% yes, 25, about a quarter say no. Results coming in from Columbus, heavily left-wing area. I wonder we'll have a call before 7 o'clock here. Okay, interesting. It's about a 10-point split. More votes coming in for Daniel Cameron, 45 to 54% with 547,000 votes. 38% of the vote is in. Another Senate seat was called for another Democrat, 22 to 14 in Virginia. For the House, I'm sorry, I keep saying Senate seat. I mean House of Delegates seat. 22 to 14. Advantage Dems there. So far, 4 to 3 in the state Senate. Advantage Dems so far. 16 minutes left in Mississippi. Ohio, we have 6% of the vote in for the abortion referendum, 60 to 30. 5% in for the marijuana. And 58 to 41 there. Just as I was predicting, marijuana seems to be, it's not as polarizing as an issue as abortion. There's less agreement on it. Still about a 10-point split between the two of them. Pennsylvania still, we have 16 minutes left there. 39% of the vote is in Kentucky in the governor's race. Still, Bashir is leading 53 to 46 as I'm speaking. We're getting more results in here. Over 40% of the vote is in. So it looks like the vote in Louisville and Lexington is in. So now the question is, can Cameron make up the deficit with the remaining counties? And really, I don't know. I believe we're going to have a call on the Secretary of State's race real soon here. I don't know how much anybody really cares about that. Looks like we got a seat called for the Republicans in the House of Delegates, 15 to 22 now there. Well, abortion and marijuana are both winning right now in Ohio with 6% of the vote in. So the orange is the no vote. The turquoise is the yes vote. That's going to really break down by county in terms of the Republican and Democrat counties. $600,000 votes in now in the Kentucky gubernatorial race with 42% of the vote in. Still a slight edge to Bashir, but it's tightening by the minute. Now I guess we got another House of Delegates seat called in Virginia for the Republicans. House 16 to 22. I'm sorry, I'm not watching the exact districts. I'm just looking at the count, so I couldn't tell you what seat that was. A little over 12 minutes in Pennsylvania for that state Supreme Court election. And it looks like we have another House of Delegates seat called in Virginia for a Democrat, which brings their total up to 23 seats. Yep, so the Secretary of State's race has been called with only 41% of the vote in. Incumbent Michael Adams will hold on to his seat there in Kentucky, just as I suspected. I said that would be called before the top of the hour, and it was. I assume the Attorney General race will soon follow. And the governor's race is really up in the air. So, first call of the night, Secretary of State Michael Adams has won re-election in Kentucky. We'll keep checking everything else. Still 10 minutes in Mississippi and Pennsylvania. Looks like we've kind of stalled in Ohio. We're stuck at 6% of the vote. Maybe it'll be a good thing that abortion's going to pass in Ohio. That way it's not going to hurt the Republicans next November in the presidential election, because the issue will already be settled and people won't be coming out to the polls on that issue, which is wouldn't be good for the Republicans if they do. A little over 10 minutes out now in Pennsylvania for some results on that state Supreme Court race. I haven't done any looking at any of the polls. I don't know the candidates. I don't know anything about this race, but we are going to monitor it. I believe the Democrats already have the majority in the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court. So with this seat, they'll just expand on that if they're able to pull it off. More votes in Ohio. The no vote just got a little bit of a bump for the abortion. More votes coming in for Cameron with 635,000 votes in Kentucky. We're almost halfway there with that race. More votes coming in now for Daniel Cameron. 53 to 47 is tightening up. We're almost at half the vote in. Looks like we got another House seat called for the Republicans in Virginia. 7 minutes yet in Mississippi and Pennsylvania. 10% in on the referendums in Ohio. 65 to 35 on abortion for the yes vote. 57 to 42 on marijuana for the yes vote. Yeah, I don't see the votes here for these referendums. Certainly not the top, the abortion one. Six minutes now on that state Supreme Court race. Just 5 minutes now in Pennsylvania and Mississippi. 48% of the vote in Kentucky. 53-46, slight advantage for Beshear. With 688,000 votes in. The Attorney General race should be called soon, I believe, for the Republican. Looks like another state Senate seat was called for the Dems in Virginia. 8 seats called so far out of 40. And I think another one just got called, 6-3 now. We are now at 50% of the vote in the Kentucky gubernatorial race. Half the vote is in. Beshear with a slight lead still, 53 to 46. Now less than a minute in Mississippi and Pennsylvania. 16% of the vote in Ohio. Abortion and marijuana are winning. So the polls have closed in Pennsylvania and Mississippi. No results in yet. Looks like we got another House seat call for the Republicans in Virginia. Nothing out of Mississippi yet. 18% in Ohio. Abortion and marijuana still winning pretty handily. And we got some results in Pennsylvania. Looks like we got some votes in from Pittsburgh. 4% of the vote in Pennsylvania. Big lead for Daniel McCaffrey. Another House seat was called for the Dems in Virginia. A majority of the vote is now in Kentucky. Bashir is still leading. So now the Republicans have picked up another seat in the state Senate in Virginia. They are now tied 6-6. More results in Pennsylvania. Another blue county filling in for McCaffrey. 79-20 for McCaffrey. Daniel Cameron just can't seem to get to 47%. He just will not cross that line. He's just stuck at 46. We now have 53% of the vote is in Kentucky. No results still out of Mississippi. Philadelphia got some votes coming in here. A lot of blue so far out of Pennsylvania for the state Supreme Court race. It's almost 769,000 votes out of Kentucky. All right, guys, I'm back. Jack, thanks for tuning in. I was just using the bathroom. You weren't here when I left. So, yeah, Daniel Cameron, I don't know what the deal is here. This is Kentucky we're talking about. This is a safe red state. He should be winning easily. If you look at the Secretary of State race, he blew the Democrat out of the water. The Attorney General is not too far behind. So this should be an easy win. But it's not over yet. It's been tightening and tightening, so we'll see what happens. We got some more calls. 26 Dem seats in Virginia to 21 Republicans, 9-6 in the state Senate. Still nothing out of Mississippi. Ohio, we have 21% of the vote in. Marijuana and abortion are both winning. And 8% of the vote is in for the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court race. 82-17, advantage McCaffrey. All you can see right now is blue. So we'll see what happens there. Again, guys, keep in mind, this is the state that elected John Fetterman to the United States Senate. So we won't be expecting too much out of Pennsylvania tonight. right, guys. So we're inching near 60% of the vote in Kentucky, and it's 52 to 47. It's tightening. 847,000 votes are in. Let me turn my webcam back on. All right, 59% of the vote is in for the governor's race in Kentucky. 52-47 Bashir in Virginia. 9-6 in the state Senate, advantage Dems. 26-21 advantage Dems in the House delegates. Mississippi, less than 1% of the vote is in. Only 500 votes there. 56-41 for Presley. 22% of the vote is in Ohio. And marijuana and abortion are winning pretty easily there. And yeah, this state Supreme Court race isn't going so well for Carolyn, whoever the heck this is. The state Supreme Court race, it's all blue so far. 9% of the vote in. So it looks like another Dem seat was called in the House of Delegates, bringing their total up to 27 seats. 51 needed for a majority there. Still less than 1% of the vote in Mississippi. It's taking a long time to count the votes in Ohio. 23% of the vote is in. I don't see a pathway here for the abortion amendment. Marijuana's probably not too far behind. Now we are at 60% of the vote in Kentucky. Cameron has it within about 5 points. Welcome everybody. If you're just tuning in, we are monitoring the election results in Kentucky, Virginia, Mississippi, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. In Kentucky, we have the gubernatorial race. In Virginia, all 140 state legislature seats are up. In Mississippi, we're looking at the governor election. Ohio, we have 2 ballot referendums, one for abortion, one for marijuana, and a state Supreme Court race in Pennsylvania. I believe Republicans are trailing in every single race thus far, except with the exception of the Secretary of State race in Kentucky, which was called a little bit ago for Michael Adams, which was expected. That is the least interesting race of the night, if you ask me. I believe the Attorney General race will soon be called for the Republican. The governor race is really up in the air at this point. like the Dems picked up another House seat in Virginia, bringing their total up to 28. Looks like we got our first red county on the board in Pennsylvania for the state Supreme Court race. Yeah, there's just way too much blue on this Pennsylvania map here. So we are now at 64% of the vote in Kentucky. We almost have it down to 52 to 48. Daniel Cameron needs 0.1% more. With 909,000 votes in, I believe we're going to go down to the last vote with this gubernatorial race. Looks like the Republicans picked up another state Senate seat, bringing their total up to 7. 20 needed for a majority. No change in Mississippi. We have about a quarter of the vote in Ohio. Both marijuana and abortion are still winning easily. And we're seeing a little bit more red now in the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court race. But it looks like it's not going to go red. And Bashir just got a big dump of votes. At 68% of the vote in. If anybody cares, Ball won the auditor race. And I guess the Democrat won in the State House 93rd District special election. Not that it probably doesn't even matter. Republicans have such a big majority. Dems picked up another state Senate seat and another House seat in Virginia, it looks like. They are about halfway to a majority in the state Senate. %71 now in with 1 million votes reported. Bashir with a slight lead still. 71% of the vote in Kentucky in the gubernatorial race. 52 to 47 advantage for Beshear. Votes coming in as I speak. 72% now reporting. 1,020,000 votes in. Looks like the Republicans picked up another state Senate seat in Virginia. 10 to 8 Dems so far. More votes in Mississippi, plus 9 for Brandon Presley, with less than 1% of the vote in. Nothing quite important out of there yet. 27% now in for the abortion referendum. The yes vote is winning 61-39. Marijuana is not too far behind, 56-44. And the state Supreme Court race, 16% of the vote is in. 78-21 advantage McCaffrey. We can probably call this one. More votes coming in now for Daniel Cameron, 47 to 52. Well over a million votes. %72 of the vote reported. So if you guys are just joining in, what do you guys think so far? Do we have any predictions? Looks like the Republicans picked up another House seat in Virginia. If Andy Beshear wins tonight, he's definitely going to run for president in 2028. If we can take him down we can count him out of the conversation for 2028. Looks like we got 2 more House seats called, one for the Dems, one for the Republicans. 30 to 24 advantage Dems so far. The no vote in the abortion referendum is almost to 40%. Remember, if they had passed the referendum back in August, they would need 60% to get it passed. So, if that had passed, it'd be pretty close right now. But since it didn't pass, it's a blowout. So far, the no vote on marijuana has been staggered around 45%. All right, so we got 79% of the vote reporting. 53-46 advantage for Bashir. No matter what, Cameron just can't get above 47%. I'm getting ready to call it for myself. Even if they're not going to call it, I'm pretty sure this is about done. Now let's see what's going on in Virginia. Alright, so we got 79%. Whoa. My audio's starting to echo. Okay, let's turn my webcam back on here. So 31 seats for the Dems in the House of Delegates, 25 seats for the Republicans, 10 seats for the Dems in the state Senate, 8 seats for the Republicans. The governor race, Tate Reeves has taken a lead with 4% reporting, 56-42. I think the abortion amendment will be called here real soon. That's the first time, though, that it's reached the 40% mark. And it's still not looking good in Pennsylvania. All right, guys. So they have called the race in Kentucky for governor. Andy Beshear has been reelected. Very disappointing night for Daniel Cameron and Republicans in Kentucky. This should have been a one race. They should have won this easily, and they failed miserably, like they always do. Republicans suck at politics. They suck at elections. Pretty soon, like I said at the start of the stream, Republicans aren't going to be able to win a race for dog catcher if we don't change up our strategy, change up our candidates. I'm sick and tired of hearing the excuse every single time, oh, the candidate sucked, oh, we ran the wrong person. Well, how about we just get it right the first time instead of losing over and over and over and over and over and over. Pick the right candidate the first time and stop nominating garbage. If a Republican can't win in Kentucky, there's a real problem on our hands. So Daniel Cameron is a loser. He should have never ran. So this is a complete joke. I don't even care about the Attorney General. So this is completely irrelevant now. We can just monitor Virginia. 10-10 in the state Senate. Republicans need 20 seats for the majority because they have the lieutenant governor. 27-31. Republicans need 51 seats for the majority. The governor race in Mississippi, 5% of the vote is in, 57-40% advantage for Reeves. And 36% of the vote is in Ohio. Abortion and marijuana are still winning. The abortion vote has narrowed a bit. Marijuana staying about the same. Man, what a joke this race was. Daniel Cameron ought to be embarrassed. Should never run for office ever again. For any office. One thing I don't like about this page is there's no map. Oh, I guess we have a... Yep, so abortion is passed in Ohio. The yes vote has won. I'm just getting the breaking news notification on my phone that Andy Beshear has won in Kentucky. Alright, so we're 0 for 2. And this is really what I predicted. Oh, and so I guess Attorney General has now been called for Russell Coleman. So that was expected. So far, all my predictions have been spot on. The only thing I wasn't predicting is the race for governor would be this close. I expected maybe 1 or 2 points, not this big of a spread. So we're going to really have to go back to the drawing board. Really, really getting sick of this. It's the same old shit every freaking election night. Because nobody can get their shit together. I mean, geez, if we can't even win in Mississippi, I don't even know what to say. I will be back. So we have another Dem seat called in the state Senate. So if you're just tuning in, races have been called in Kentucky and Ohio. Both referendums for abortion and marijuana have passed in Ohio. Andy Beshear has been reelected governor, but Republicans have won the Attorney General seat and Secretary of State, while the race is still ongoing in Mississippi. The Republican Tate Reeves has the lead there, and we're watching Virginia for the state Senate and the state House. The Dems are leading in both, and the Democratic candidate for state Supreme Court in Pennsylvania is leading there with 47% of the vote in. So we've got about 10 seats outstanding yet in the state Senate. Looks like Republicans are going to fall short. They needed 20 seats for a majority because they have the lieutenant governor, and it looks like they're not going to get 20 seats. So they have 14 right now. They lead 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah. With the seats that they're currently leading in, it would only take them to 18. This race is razor thin. It could flip, and that would put them at 19. This one is also, that would put them to 20. The only other race that's somewhat close is this one. This one's close, but it's almost all the way in, all the votes counted. I'm probably gonna call this for Reeves here pretty soon. Over half the vote is in Pennsylvania. McCaffrey still has a commanding lead there. That's probably gonna get called soon. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Yeah, it's gonna be razor thin for both chambers. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna sign off here. I don't see any more good news coming out of this with what's been called what's left. This is not a good night for Republicans. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the coverage. Be looking for tomorrow. I'll be doing a post-debate analysis on who won and who lost. So I'll see you guys.